Hi, welcome to Couch Commentary. My name is Argentarius. We're watching Severance episode 2, and joining us is Saoirse, who is a purple fox.
And we also have Kiki, the wonderful void cat.
Yes, she is a black cat.
So this is what is... It's not something wrong with the camera or the video. It's just the void. Don't worry. He's fine.
Thanks for joining us for Couch Commentary. So, here's what to expect. First, we comment as we watch, with occasional pauses. After that, we have a discussion and reflect on what we just watched. Extended versions can be found on patreon.com/Argentarius. Just a fair warning, there are spoilers ahead. Make sure to tell us what you think in the comments, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
Alright, well, let's see what this one has in store for us.
I make these statements freely.
Okay, that's a wrap. Come with me, please.
He looks happy doing this.
Oh, is he also not severed?
I wonder, because he's in an area that's not severed, right? And severed.
See,
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt.
You're okay, Kiki.
Oh, Kiki doesn't like the drill
No,
noise.
I don't like the drill noise, to be fair. Severance technology.
Oh, they have fMRI.
Yeah.
Okay, why did he take a picture?
This also to...
That's the hippocampus?
My brain wants to say hippocampus.
Okay. Ooh, trippy. Blink?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ellie.
Oh no, I'm trying to leave.
No. It's all part of the process. If you want to spin around.
Yes, you are trying
Yes, you
to
are
leave.
trying to leave. Yeah, see?
Yeah, that's...
I'm gonna call you back.
Yeah, they're essentially
Yeah,
manipulating her
yeah.
at this point.
This is what we kind of figured.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
There was
old-timer.
something. Oh, now we get an intro.
Yeah, we get an intro this time. Oh, weird. I was like The Sims.
Yeah. I read that as a bit lower. I thought that was like a direction. I'm like, oh nope, that's someone's name.
Huh.
This also reminds me of modern dance.
Oh, yeah, like the ballet that we've seen.
Oh yeah.
The modern ballet, I
Oh,
should
modern
say.
ballet.
I get what you're saying about modern dance. That black goo.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for you. Ooh, definitely not good for you. That's a wicked intro. Those fluorescent lights that give you headaches. Refill soap. Check refrigerator. Acknowledge someone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, you
interesting.
even have like just ye old drip coffee with this type of... I like how it's like future retro.
It is future retro, isn't it? Oh, the roly
Oh,
vacuum cleaner things.
I haven't seen those since like my grandma.
And the CRT screens. I guess since they don't really do the procedure for like janitorial staff, they're the only ones there, so they have to like keep it clean.
Yeah.
Is that what it's telling us? Or is this just something that he does?
Well, because it's the manager checklist.
Oh, yeah.
Is he taking those to replace with new ones?
Oh. Into a storeroom?
I don't even feel like I left.
Yeah, that's how nights and weekends feel here.
Like nothing. So
Wild.
it's 9:05.
Yeah, they stagger the entries too, so we don't meet on the outside. It's important, apparently.
Why did they not want
So
them
I guess
to
we're
meet?
not friends.
And the finger traps that you see displayed here, 100%
Finger
is
traps.
tier 5.
He is totally bought into the rewards program. Rewards programs like that,
Mm-hmm.
funnily enough, they do work, right? To a certain degree. Otherwise, they wouldn't implement them.
Yeah.
So there are people who do, I don't want to say get motivated by it, but it is effective for them, right? To a certain degree.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, even, you know, it's like, especially, I would say maybe even in this, it might kind of be needed to show, like, you know, give you a physical sense of reality to a certain degree.
Right. To have something like, what is, oh yeah, if you're stuck in a severed place, what is the most valuable to you? Like physical things that prove that you exist.
Yeah, that I have existed here and I have done something here.
Yeah, so maybe the little finger traps are like physical proof that like I've accomplished something here with my time.
Yeah, I've done this much, I've done that much. Here's where I am. Versus like if you don't get any of those, then it's just like you have nothing literally to show for being trapped there.
Right, right. For your time there and your heck, even I, have some stuff from my previous companies where they've gifted it to me because, it was kind of a reward but it was a reward for like everyone doing a good job, That was more of a thing instead of like an individual. But I guess in other companies, they do reward like individuals and they have like, they implemented reward programs where like, oh, you can congratulate someone on something and you get like a little something for it. That's interesting because you can kind of get sucked into that. It's like a game in itself, right? The gamification of work. Did you ever work at a place like that? Not really.
No, we just worked off of, what were our numbers.
What were your numbers?
Yeah, in both retail and in call center.
Ah, okay. But you never, like, even if you performed well with your numbers, you didn't get like rewards or anything?
I would get bonuses in retail.
You'd get bonuses? Like,
yeah.
Were they based off of those numbers or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like because you would have to like reach a certain amount and things like that, and then you would essentially get like a bonus to however much you sold.
Mm-hmm.
If you hit certain numbers and certain goals and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
And what we would try to do for once I became a shift lead or in the call center and stuff was essentially, pizza party. Essentially,
Gotcha.
especially because I worked when I was doing it for like second shift
Mm-hmm.
and into night shift. So that was, working like 2 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a kind of rough shift. You're missing a lot of the like, time with people.
Yeah. And especially at that shift, like your digestive cycle, right?
Yeah.
Kind of off already. Because you were telling me stories about like going.
Oh yeah, when I worked
late
at night shift, it was like, our lunch hour was like midnight, 1 a.m.
Yeah. And what's open at that hour?
Yeah, so there wasn't a whole lot open that hour, so we would try and sometimes go and get like stuff before, stuff that would be fine.
Yeah.
We could like reheat in the canteen if needed for certain things, or so we'd have it so when people were coming on shift, they could have it at the beginning of their shift and then still take their hour lunch.
Right.
Then that was their time for stuff. So that was something that heck, even before I was shift lead, I would try and do, especially when working night. But yeah, when I got to second shift, that was something we started pushing more for, was for getting something for like if we've the majority of people
Mm-hmm.
was like meeting their metrics or for stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we would at least try. We were a very small thing and there was only so much that we could do, and even some of the times we would it would come out of my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, we need to eat, we need to have something good, like we're here, it's hard, and getting some like have a good time when we can, because it's not, call centers aren't fun.
No. I remember like I would pay out of pocket, or I would get like a group of people to kind of chip in, and we'd have a little bit of a celebration because if the company's not going to do it, then I kind of miss working with teams like that where we could get together and kind of pool resources and do stuff like that, where you could have a little
we do that too. When we could.
Yeah. Well, that brings up an interesting point of like, all right, you have company reward programs, and then you also have like employee kind of driven rewards, right?
Yeah.
Or relief, I should say.
Yeah. Or just like, hanging out and stuff.
Well,
so what could they do here?
Mm-hmm.
They're literally like, you can't go out. Actually, how do they have lunch?
Oh, them?
Yeah, at this company. Like, on the severed floor, is there like a severed cantina? I guess.
A severed cantina. That's a weird sentence.
It's so weird, man.
Everything
I feel
here
like
is severed.
everything in here is severed.
The meat is severed. The vegetables are severed.
Oh man,
The pudding is severed.
I don't know. I feel like this is gonna put us on some weird list.
I don't know.
We're talking about Severance. Is there a Severance cantina on that floor? Yeah, well, maybe we'll find out. But
yeah.
because they don't have any memories of sleeping, or breakfast, or dinners, or anything
But
else.
Lunch would happen there, so they have to have something.
Yeah,
And I didn't see any of them bring in a lunchbox.
yeah,
So how does food work? And they talk about like a waffle party. So
yeah. And they talk about a waffle party.
and the
It's just
person
the ye old like dumb waiter things. It's like the food just gets lowered down on a rope down a different down the little food elevators.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Here you go. Here's your food trough. And then it just goes back up, and then people are like, "Well, I guess they're eating."
Yeah. Like, treat us more like cattle.
Yeah,
like what she woke up to.
am I livestock? Yes. See, I said yes. I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. All right. You can continue.
I'm a human horse. I eat from a bucket.
I am a human horse.
You're a zebra. There's a difference.
This is very true. Thank you for acknowledging the difference.
Oh man. Yeah. But yes, I'm just very curious about the mechanics of this.
Oh yes.
Let alone all of the implications, but just like mechanically speaking, because like, so now does he have to come in extra early now that he's the head and do all of this stuff? Because that was like a checklist for him now that he's like the head of the department.
I think so, but we also know from his background on the outside that he's very willing to do this because he's also grieving. You know? And he's using this as an escape, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Although, would you benefit from the escapism if you were severed?
I feel like no.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like,
It's not really giving you a rest.
no.
Just like they're like, oh yeah, we don't have like the recollection of sleep, so we just kind of have to guess like how are we feeling.
That's what I wanted to bring up last episode, is if you are dealing with like grief and you're using disassociation. Oh, right. So if you are dealing with something that's like traumatic or grief or something, I know one of the mechanisms is disassociation. Another mechanism is escapism, and some people do choose to use work as an escape. Essentially, they'll like double down into their work. I know it because I've done it, you know. And it actually, I guess it kind of runs in the family too, because I know some family members who've done it as well. But you know, you get like really involved with work, and you just pour more and more and more into it. And I feel like that's what he's done.
Yeah.
You know, in a way. But then with like the severance mechanics, like we were talking about, I don't think he gets the benefit of that, because if you do that without the severance, you at least experience that escapism for a while, for those hours, right?
Yeah. I will say one of the very few random little perks is that they have set times they come in and set times they leave.
You have a good routine, yeah.
Yeah. So there's no overtime
Well,
type of thing, or
yeah.
like, so yeah, you're being worked hard and definitely in a really bad and unhealthy way and manner. But at the very least, you know when you clock in and you know when you clock out, and they can't get mad at you, because else then you're running into severance issues. So you have to leave at this time.
Yeah. Well,
Very tiny perk for those people that try to like creep up of like, Yeah, I'm gonna need you to come in on Saturday. Like,
The unfortunate thing, though, like
No.
he talks about some of the perks of like, he's like, well, I try to see the happy side of like experiencing the benefits of like rest because we don't get to experience it otherwise.
yeah.
But like the previous episode, he came in hungover, effectively, or at least they alluded to it, right?
Yeah.
The people around him say like you smell like
A distillery.
a distillery. The person said you look like you're hungover.
Yeah.
So there's multiple.
So yeah, because you
It's-
don't know, you also don't know how to treat yourself, because if you are sick or you are hungover, you don't know how to like
That's right. He had a cough.
yeah. You don't know how to like take it a little bit easier that day to give your body some rest during the day.
So it's easier to just push yourself because you can just. It's not you doing it. Right?
Yeah. And you don't have as much of the like big picture to know like, yeah, no, I'm coming down with something. Also, I'm assuming they have something that tells them what day it is. Because else how would they know? Because there's
Probably.
weekends.
Yeah.
So it's not just a like, oh, it's a new 8 o'clock. That means, yeah, because you would have to have something to account for the missed weekend. So I'm guessing there's something that tells them it's a Monday, this date, this time.
I would hope. Like
I
your
mean, well, we
computers
definitely-
usually tell you.
Yeah,
If you're like signing documents and stuff, it's important to know the date.
yeah,
They probably have clocks and calendars.
yeah. Well, I know they definitely have clocks. We see the clocks everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But I kind of figured because like how else would he know it's Monday?
Right. Yeah.
So, something somewhere is that they check.
Yep.
Okay, we'll continue. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, that was a good one. I like the Rolodex.
Mark, sorry to interrupt. I know you're.
Oh,
trained
the
Italian.
dividers
I noticed you
just
removed the
move.
group.
I cannot get any work done around
Should
here.
this mean something to me?
No.
Am I trapped here?
There's that
In what way?
question again.
Like, if it turns out I hate this and I want to quit, is that an option?
That is a very good question.
Ooh, sweet melon bar.
Hi, Mr. Nelson.
Aha.
I'm
I was at the
God
welcome
at how
party.
well Let's get this party started.
Yeah, it is a welcome party.
I know they went to the welcome party, so yeah, they do have. I'm guessing
Well,
maybe the ones that
my
remember.
name is Irving, as you all know, and I've worked
Oh,
here for
this
3
game.
years, and something
Have you
about
played
me
this
is
game,
that
like
I
Pass the
know
Ball?
all night.
No trust fall today, Irvin.
I take it you pass the ball, and the person who
Yeah.
holds the ball is the one.
No.
You said no
No.
3 times.
No.
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 I think my Audi lives on like a riverboat.
Howdy.
I'm sorry, Audis are.
They're us on the outside.
So what if I write her a note?
Unfortunately, the elevators are equipped with something called code detectors.
That
Okay, well,
sounds spooky. Metal detectors for writing.
I broke protocol this morning.
Hmm.
I was dusting
changing the pictures?
old group photos, the ones with PD.
It is puzzling you have an outburst like this for Petey and not for, say, Carol D.
But we knew Carol D was leaving beforehand. I mean, I don't know if he's at some new job or dead.
That's enough, please.
Yeah, they didn't give him any
I think
closure,
this is a
essentially.
good time to
Right.
remind ourselves that things like deaths happen outside of here. And I think a great potential response to that from all of you is gratitude.
Yeah, he's
That's
essentially
a-
their handler, and
Okay, so he's not severed. He's their handler.
yeah, that's what it seems like.
This is purgatory,
Mm-hmm.
or a type of purgatory.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to leave. They're not allowed, and they can't die, so they're here eternally, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, did she just flinch?
Yeah.
The void cat?
The void cat is dreaming.
No. Severance?
Feed me. I hunger. There, did your dream calm down? No.
You can obviously get injured here, right?
Yeah.
Person was injured. It's not impossible to die here,
Yeah.
but if they did die, they'd probably cover it up. Or
Oh yeah. Because like I mean, people are, fallible.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
I also find it funny that they call it an outburst. The fact that like he took the things and put them away
Oh, yeah.
before, protocol.
Right. Because he did
That's
it.
an outburst.
He did it calmly. That is what we see a lot in like corporate speak, essentially.
Yeah, they escalate what you've done
Yes.
or didn't do.
Yep. Any behavior that they don't like gets escalated like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or either escalated or minimized. That's a lot of their tactics that they use.
Yeah, it's either all or nothing. There's zero in between or nuance or anything.
Like you do something really, really good, but they don't want to promote you, right? So they just minimize it. Or
it wasn't that big, or it wasn't that needed, even though like everybody in the company is now using this thing that you made.
Yep. Happened to me multiple times.
I know, that's why I say.
Yeah.
That's why I bring it up.
Yep.
That's partially why we put off watching this show.
Yeah. It
That's
feels
a lot
too
of
real.
like the, oh no.
It's way too real.
Well, there you go. Stretch it, baby.
Aw.
Yeah.
Weedy pie.
It's okay. Void Cat makes everything better.
Void Cat does make everything better.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm.
Yeah. A little bit more chin scratches. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, no. Am I not allowed to stop?
Well, you can hit play and then
Here, how about I
continue.
I also think that melon isn't getting any tastier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Since they control the environment, like all the excitement in their life is controlled as well.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ew.
Oh no. Ooh. The heck is in his thumbs?
You're just done asking about your best friend because our babysitter told you to stop?
Putting it very plainly.
Let's get this new group photo before the melon bloat sets in.
Oh, the fake laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Say gratitude.
Gratitude.
That's the same camera he used to take a picture of her during the operation. That is also a film camera, not a digital
Ellie.
one.
I quit.
These always are so disorienting.
Yeah. Also, how are you? Do you remember to get around?
Come on out.
Huh.
Yeah. That was somebody that they mentioned before when it was administration.
It's on me, and I apologize for that, sir.
He's
Honestly.
taking the fall.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing for the most part they have it memorized because there's very few, like, things on doors.
Mm-hmm. The signs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh,
This-
you're dead.
This place is claustrophobic. Oh,
Yeah.
break
Break
room.
room.
As in,
Yeah, it breaks you.
take a break from others in solitary confinement.
I mean, essentially.
Wow. Her again.
Wow.
So you're a doula.
A midwife, actually.
Wonder if they tend to like group. I'm wondering if he was set up by like his sibling.
Oh,
Are you
this is
vetting
awkward
yours?
because he's talking
Yeah.
to her about work
Seem great
and he
to-
can't say anything about his
I
work.
know.
Yeah. Are you vetting me for your sister? Yeah, it definitely has a drinking problem. I wonder if that infects the implant because it affects your brain.
Yeah.
Does,
Like
yeah.
half this town.
Yeah, there you go, half the town.
That was a joke.
It is a
It was
town
funny.
built around the company.
Like you could get married and have kids and just forget they exist for 8 hours every day for your whole life. That doesn't mess with your head.
I mean,
So as a
I
local,
wonder if it's also
this just
why he
feels
got
like
the
a
tremors.
reasonable temperature too.
Well,
Oh, from alcohol?
And
Yeah.
you're one to talk,
Mm.
isn't
Mental
I live
affairs
in
like
Baird
that.
Creek.
And yes, they happen to be subsidized by the company that employs me.
Children's brain health?
We do.
Great. We're trying to get a measure on the ballot to keep megacorporations like Lumen from continuing to force legalized severance on our state.
They're forcing it now?
That's what they're lobbying for. And James Egan is trying
Okay,
to
well, what about the self-mutilating types that do it willingly?
Severance is subjugation, asshole.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Not a good first date move.
Nope.
Came in with a bias. And there's no, like, arguing
Yeah.
against.
Either way.
Yeah.
You might want to hide that.
Especially if you're living on company property.
This is Selvig.
He's suffering.
Here, why don't you come in? I have milk.
Like a vampire.
Uh-huh.
Don't invite them in.
Yeah, don't invite them in. She's going to see the note you...
So no hard feelings if you... Were you on a date?
Sort of. My sister set me up with, like, her doula or midwife.
I think that's also why she, well, was commenting on him at work, but also she's commenting on him here, trying to get him to, like, sleep 8 hours. Oh, you smell nice.
Oh.
Is also messing with the bins because it's probably trying to intercept his mail and stuff.
Oh.
Like, see what he's throwing out, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. There is a pattern.
I don't, also, yeah, you don't, if your sibling is obviously not in a place for dating,
Don't set them up.
don't set them up.
Yeah.
Like, this person isn't seeing their therapist anymore. They're essentially running away from stuff.
Did Mark see a therapist?
Oh yeah, she was like, how's, you know, how's seeing such and such been?
Oh, okay. I didn't
No,
catch
he was
that.
silent, and she's like, you haven't been going.
Uh-huh.
Essentially alluding to is seeing a therapist.
Right. Okay.
Or at least something along those lines. A grief counselor, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Got it. Yep.
Was supposed to be seeing somebody about stuff.
Yep.
And has not been going. He obviously also doesn't get along with, like, your friends. Or at least not anymore, if ever. Maybe it's the previous spouse was more the outgoing one.
Possibly. Although if you
But
have a
also
big-
it's just a grief. Of like,
Yeah.
now I'm just, nope.
just self-isolating.
Yeah.
And he, you know, when you're going through something like this, you kind of know that things are off and you don't necessarily want to show it to other people.
Yeah.
So that's probably part of it.
Yeah. But also, obviously, if you're in, like, company subsidized housing,
Mm-hmm.
why are you letting your neighbor in? Because then obviously they work with you,
Right.
or at least somewhere in your company, and you have no knowledge of them. So
Right.
why are you inviting them in?
Yeah.
Seems like a bad idea.
Wow.
My late husband was a carpenter. And before he passed, he said he would start building us a house in the hereafter. Yes. He even drew blueprints, which I keep in my purse.
It's just so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, come by the shop, okay? I'll give you a mugwort bath bomb that'll make you sleep like a rag doll.
So she has a witchy shop.
Very nosy as well. That's a pretty big storeroom.
Or, well, basement.
Hmm.
Which is being used as storage.
Mm-hmm. Actually, their houses are fairly
Fairly
big.
decent, yeah.
Yeah. Though if he came with a spouse, he probably was planning to have a family.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's
Yeah, that's her crafts.
Oh.
Just keeps falling asleep on the couch in front of the TV.
Yeah. Dang.
Ooh. Warble.
Yeah. That's a neat effect. I'm trying to figure out what effect that is.
That was the worker of moral self-governance.
Because they can't quit.
Yeah.
Better keep that note safe.
Mr. Milchick, it's Mark Scout. I actually woke up not feeling terribly well.
I know your innie will be
be sad to have missed the day.
You don't think that...
He's probably sick. They wouldn't bounce him and Petey the same week.
I certainly hope not. Quarterly deadline's coming up, and I'm not looking to be department chief.
Wow. A lot of confidence for a man who once got disciplined for dozing.
Hey, they wouldn't have fired him for my note thing, would they?
No. No way. He did a stint in the break room yesterday.
Did he sound ill?
I don't know. He said it was abdominal.
Funny timing.
These are all people who are not severed.
Yeah.
Inside the severed zone.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. So he comes here on a work day, not a weekend.
Yeah, which would have been smart.
Right.
They don't call out, then it's a lot less suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Not tracked anywhere.
Erasers are mostly dead.
Yeah, you're not supposed to fall asleep.
Not supposed to fall asleep here.
Yeah, you know, it's not like when you got in trouble for your little dozing incident. Sorry, I brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing because it fucks with the severance.
With the implant? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Like the stuff under his nails?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Irving.
He probably did a microdosing
Mm-hmm.
where you're just so tired that you don't know when you've fallen asleep.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think it does mess with the
implant.
Yeah.
Because it's about spatial.
Oh, and if you sleep,
Yeah, and if you sleep in there,
it might trip something.
yeah.
Is this an old greenhouse?
Yeah. One of the big greenhouses.
Is that focus breathing?
We'll deduct the time you spent dozing from your Audi's paycheck. What will be harder to fix, Irving, is my and Miss Cobell's trust in you. But no one is hankering to throw you in the break room. We'll do a wellness check with Miss Casey and go from there, all right?
Throw you in the break room like it's a prison.
Yeah. Timothy tempers, let not weakness live in your veins. Or tame thy tempers, sorry.
What even are these numbers? Like, do we even know what we're supposedly cleaning?
Okay, if our Audis are up there severing their brains, shit must have gotten pretty bad. Famine, plagues, etc.
Populate the sea? This is the leading theory.
Now, Irv thinks we're cutting swear words out of movies.
But what is it? Like, what are we actually working on down there?
Nothing.
I don't know. I thought without severance it would make more sense, but they separate us from the other departments. We don't even know how many there are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what big companies do.
This
I've
is
been
like
reintegrated
silos.
for 2 weeks now. I've been mapping out the floor. I hid the original for you when I left.
You okay?
Nope. Do I look okay? Something
Sorry.
off camping gear.
Reintegration sickness.
Never heard of that one.
Because I'm the first dipshit that's ever had it. Plus, living in a cold-ass greenhouse isn't hell, but I can't go home.
Okay, so what is it that happens down there that's so bad?
There's this room. We go in there when we don't act right.
Mm-hmm.
The break room?
I'm afraid you're not sorry. I truly am. I'm sorry. Please read the statement again. Forgive me for the harm I have caused this world. I am thankful to have been caught, my full cut short by those with wizened hands. All I can be is sorry, and that is all that I am. I'm afraid you don't mean it. Again. Please.
Fuck is that?
That's the break room.
Okay, so you're right, where they do break you.
Yeah.
It's weaponized guilt.
Yeah.
I have been in situations like this where, I've been put into a room, this happened at work, put into a room and made to repeat things. Like, even if I cave in and agree with the person in the end, made to not only agree with it, but say the words that they want me to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that happens now.
Yeah, and it still happens.
Yeah.
Just, it's not as overt as, or as well filmed as this. Obviously, it looks different. Yeah, versions of this are being played out.
I mean, it's just essentially like the torture confessions.
Yes.
All right, what do you want me to say?
Right.
Okay, I don't believe you. I'm saying what you want me to say. I don't believe you. Told you this was a horror show.
Ooh.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not.
I just don't think they label it as such because it's not outright like zombies or, stuff like that.
True, yeah.
This is essentially psychological horror.
Yeah, it is.
Right, why are we watching this again?
I mean, maybe it should come with a content warning.
Yeah, I feel...
Does it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe we need to go look up stuff. Well, see, then that's the other issue. Is like, so we did want to kind of see this without spoilers.
Right.
So I know sometimes if we do stuff like, does the dog die?
Oh,
it will give you warnings, but then that can also spoil big things.
It can, yeah.
So it's and I knew that this stuff went over like relatively heavy subjects in some area, that it's a heavy show. It's not a light show.
Yeah. Everyone
by any means. We knew that, but everyone's like, oh, it's really good.
I mean, it is.
I mean, it's filmed really well. So far, like, the writing's pretty interesting. The cinematography is also really cool.
It touches on a lot of things.
Yeah. We'll keep poking away at it, chipping away.
I guess we should say you're not really a fan of horror.
Oh yeah, no, I don't do horror.
So this is kind of at the edge.
Yeah, this is one of those, like, so far at the edges. If it starts going too far, then it might be like, all right, bye.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
There we go. Whips.
Yeah, tame thy tempers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't think anybody was out here. I'm
admiring the art while I wait.
That piece hung in the perpetuity wing for many years. It's better here. It's calming.
Calming?
I'm Irving, macro data refinement.
Optics and design. A two-person department, so barely.
So this is your work?
We don't paint them. We do hang them. It's rare to meet a sophisticate. Most people only think of O&D when new handbook totes come in.
Irving?
So they, like, move the paintings and stuff around.
Mm-hmm.
They get new tote bags. Here's your semblance of outdoors.
Everything is simulated, though.
Mm-hmm. Here's your one plant. You get some humidity from the little mist. You get the bird sounds.
What I'd like to do is share with you some facts about your outie. These facts are not to be shared outside this room.
Is it a test on whether he leaks the facts? Because they could tell him whatever.
Is generous.
Yeah.
Your outie is a friend to children and to the elderly and the insane.
Oh, we're using that term, right?
Is that term still used at all, or I don't think so.
Not in any sort of
professional context, right?
Yeah.
Films and owns a machine that can play them.
A VCR.
And can swim gracefully and well. I'm sorry. Please try to enjoy each fact equally and not show preference for any over the others. That's 10 points off. You have 90 points remaining.
Points?
Whoa.
Please don't speak.
That's 10 points off.
Oh my god. This.
Yeah, it's a psych eval.
Whoa. This
Mulan?
is mind bending.
Present. Speaking without permission.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is essentially how they're doing a psych eval.
Wild. Like, what
In a
do you think
sense.
she's trying to glean from this?
How stable he still is.
Oh, because he just had an episode, right? And
Yeah.
they know he had an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I think it is essentially, and also saying, like, what is
triggering him?
Yeah.
Or
in different ways. What is either, like, exciting or not? How in control of himself is he?
Yeah.
It's part of the, like, try to enjoy them equally.
Interesting. Now the thing, like, all right, we know that they have hyper surveillance, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is insane to begin with. But now, like, you're telling me to relax,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're giving me a test, and it's a point system, and I didn't know it was a test going in.
Yeah.
Now I have a lot of anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
During this test. That's also going to affect the results, isn't it?
Yeah, and everything they do in here is a test.
Yeah.
Essentially. But this is, yeah.
This is a place with no psychological safety.
No.
It is completely devoid of any kind of safety. And we know even outside, there isn't safety either.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is just like extra sophisticated company towns of your...
Yeah.
We own where you live, we own your food, we own where you work, what stuff you buy. You got this little VIP card that goes to a place that they probably own.
Yeah, I mean, company towns of your...
Because they're like, oh, of course it's Vips. Or whatever, the restaurant that he got a free dinner at.
You know that some company towns of your also essentially printed their own money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of this level, you know?
Yeah.
Basically, they would print their own money that their employees would get paid with, and they could only spend with, like, within that town. So it's basically free money for the company, because that money just circulates within within everything that's controlled within that company.
Yeah, and you can't spend it outside, you can't spend it elsewhere. So like, rather than like,
And
here we'll give you, 10 of whatever currency is in your locale, it's a nope, you got a gift card and you can only use it here.
And
you don't actually get compensation, really.
Nowadays, you're still kind of trapped, because even if you make money that can be used elsewhere, if you don't make enough, you're still trapped.
Oh yeah.
Can't move.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, we know.
Also, where are her credentials?
Ooh, that's a good one. Did she? Wait, what? How was she introduced?
She a doctor, supposedly.
Is she a doctor? Let's rewind that for a sec.
Did you say her name?
No. Okay, so there's no credentials. The wellness center.
Yeah. Patient Audi facts.
So it is saying that he is her patient.
Essentially.
So this has the guise of being like a therapy session.
Yeah.
But it is not creating any sort of psychological safety.
No. You don't say that he's not supposed to talk. You don't say that he's supposed to, like, the exercise is to try to enjoy each equally. You're not saying what he should be trying to do. And then also you're making it a test by giving stuff points values.
Yeah, you wouldn't give like a secret test for that, right?
No. It's a pop quiz. What's your mental health?
Oh gosh.
Poor.
I mean, though I know some people might be afraid to go into therapy feeling that might be the case, right? Or have some pre-existing anxiety, like,
Stuff should essentially be explained to you when you're doing stuff like this. It's the same with like, okay, for this meditation, here's what we're going to see about trying to do. Or, if we try this, here's what we're kind of going for. We'll see what happens. We'll work with what comes. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, there's difference if you're taking like assessments.
Oh, yeah.
But then it's not necessarily a thing you can fail.
Right.
It's literally assessing what it's supposed to be assessing for. So yeah, it's not like a math test that you can fail.
Whenever I went to therapy, it was always brought up like, hey, I'd like to try something, or, why don't we do this? And it was explained, what the objective was. It wasn't really, there were no like secret tests. Essentially,
it wasn't any sort of like, aha, surprise, gotcha. You've been lying, or stuff like that. There's also a difference between actual like therapy experiments.
Yes,
because that can be a double blind and some bits of like gotchas, or you might not know the full purpose or the stuff, but stuff should be explained to you at the end. Again, there's also not a failure aspect like this seems to have with the thing coming up.
Now, there was an exception. Like, I have seen where, an employer, one would either require you or try and trick you into taking a personality test.
Oh, well, yeah, that's employer stuff. I'm talking about therapy.
Oh, I know you're talking about the therapy context. Like
outside of company-owned therapy.
Right.
Or wellness.
Yeah, the reason why I brought that up before is because this gives you the guise of like a professional therapy session.
Yeah.
But it's not. There have been instances where employers try to do personality tests on you.
Oh yeah.
On their employees.
That's a whole
nother
other thing.
Yeah.
we ain't getting into that.
Okay.
Well, back to this test, not a test.
Test, not a test.
Therapy, not a therapy.
Yeah.
Audi is an exemplary person. Just relax your body and be open to the facts. Try to enjoy each equally. These facts are not to be shared outside this room.
I do still think that that's also a test.
Oh yeah. So she does say to her try to enjoy them equally, but she doesn't say anything about not talking.
This is also using information about yourself against you. Because if this is supposed to be a reward, yeah.
You have 90 points remaining.
Took off the points for not enjoying equally, not for the not following the don't speak.
Exactly.
A photo of your Audi with a trophy was once in a newspaper.
Oh, and that breaks confidentiality.
Here.
Yeah. 2 tokens per person per day.
Sunflower
Blueberries.
seeds, ginseng,
Ooh, ginseng.
raisins, shriveled.
Is it just the elevators?
What?
With the code detectors? Or is it the stairwells too?
Jesus, stairwells too. Why?
Hi, kids. What's for dinner?
Nope.
How was wellness?
I met the O&D department head.
In pardon, we're supposed to like the perks, and all in Lumen's care shall revel in the bounty of the incentive spur.
Don't pervert a handbook passage to me, okay? That
Guys? That.
Yep.
Why is it
You okay? Just fence off the bad data like I showed you.
Can you see the perimeter?
And bin it. Boom. Fucking refined.
All right, Helly. Hip, hip.
They were scary. The numbers were scary.
What do you think that is?
Here's a couch. I'll find you a sleeping bag.
You're on company property.
Lights on the left.
No lights. They can see.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
No, he's not. No,
From-
he's bleeding.
Ooh, okay.
He's essentially having probably like aneurysms and stuff.
Oh no. And he probably doesn't feel like he can go to a doctor because then
Yeah.
they'll find him. Oh,
Yeah, you're essentially disassociating because of spatial. I think he's dead.
you think he's dead?
Yeah.
So you think he's dead?
I think he's dead.
Okay. Yeah, that is very interesting where he sees himself
Mm-hmm.
in 2 places at once.
Yeah.
Probably because his mind is.
Because, yeah, it's a spatially recognized thing.
And he's probably seeing like a memory of himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he might have taken the shower already. Or maybe he was taking the shower later.
Yeah. Of essentially taking the shower later, but seeing himself back at the mirror. Of having the association with the water.
Gosh, that's not a fun way to go.
No. Yeah, so that's why I was wondering if he essentially was having a brain bleed.
All right, so this one feels a bit more horror-ish to you. Where does it fit on the scale?
I mean, it wasn't fun starting with brain surgery. That's a body horror.
Oh, and the nails thing. That eked me out, you know? I couldn't, I couldn't look at that.
That's an ick for you, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either.
The ooze coming down, I could deal with that.
Yeah, mainly I think because heck, even the opening scene or
The intro? Yeah.
is
The title screen.
yeah already kind of rides the line.
Yeah, it's a little bit cartoony and Sims-like. That's how I can kind of.
That's how it's fun. I mean, just the same way with like why I can deal with some of the stuff in say like the Owl House. Cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
It gets a lot of
It's filtered a little easier.
Your brain can kind of separate.
Yeah, it can kind of be like that's a little bit still on the more fiction side and stuff. Though trust me, there are definitely more like cartoons that have like messed me up. Like Akira.
Oh.
That's just excessively full of like especially body horror. I also watched that way too young. but that's a different issue.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah.
still like, I mean, even, yeah, like some animes or other animated stuff can still definitely mess with me.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's not something I enjoy. I don't like being scared. I don't like that sort of, that's why I don't do horror. It's not an enjoyable feeling for me, including after.
Fun fact, I used to not be able to do horror either. It took me a long time to get into horror and be able to be at the point where I am now, where I can watch horror. This series kind of rides the line. It's corporate horror,
Yeah.
essentially.
Which, I mean, I guess it also doesn't help because it's like, yes, that's what we're living in.
Yeah, it is what we're living in.
Yeah, it has a lot of correlation too. So it's like, oh, great. I can't even like escape the corporate, hellscape that exists.
Yeah.
In my shows now.
And it doesn't, honestly.
Not that we always need escapism, but
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't need to be like it doesn't need to be a big corporation either, because a lot of the smaller corporations or the medium-sized corporations want to be like the big ones, so they just copycat.
Yeah.
I learned it from watching you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so we see more of that. I definitely noticed that, like, okay, that wellness session was being recorded.
Oh yeah.
So even though it's posing as like a therapy session, it breaks that confidentiality, right? So that's, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's only, and it varies where you are, obviously.
Oh, where you live.
Yeah. Like what country, what state, what city even sometimes. Like, and it can very much vary depending on what your local laws are, what is confidential and what's not. But broadly speaking, there's essentially only very specific things should break confidentiality. Such as in some places, if you do mention specific topics, then your therapist is required by law to disclose to authorities. Other times it can be your therapist gets their notes subpoenaed by the court. So that's where it could be broken, but it's only their notes. They aren't sitting there pulling like recordings of you. And you should generally be notified about that by your therapist and things that, hey, my stuff's been subpoenaed. Your therapist should also be telling you like what kind of notes that they're taking, what they're keeping, how they're keeping it secure, that fun stuff, that sort of thing. So there's very specific stuff, and that should be told before you go in, before you sign anything.
It can also depend on who the therapist works for. Like if the therapist is a company therapist.
Or military.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I said it's very specific to, but they should all be on board. So yeah, there are certain things that before they are like, nope, we have to report this to authorities, or if you're in the military, like to your superiors, or it could get you, fired.
Right.
All that sort of stuff. But that's supposed to be told to you before.
Supposed to.
Which, if they don't, then that's also generally an issue.
But can also vary based on country. Yeah.
But yeah, it's essentially, it's not, you're not supposed to undermine the therapeutic relationship.
Right.
So that's why you're supposed to have stuff like that out in the open, else it's a lot harder to do the actual, like,
otherwise
let's see if I can help you.
Yeah, otherwise they can't create a safe space, which is where you're supposed to be able to make progress, right?
Yeah, where it's okay to make mistakes, not like well, that's 10 points.
Yeah.
Let's say something again and you out and your wellness is done. And I'm, like, this is for your benefit that you're here and you're being told these nice things about you. Like, the heck?
Yeah.
But it's essentially, I guess, one of the very few ways that they maybe get any joy.
Which is really sad.
Yeah, because there's, as I am a fan of, like, there not being blasting music. But yeah, that's also why he's very into, like, the artwork and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's one of the few things that breaks up the monotony.
Yeah, why he probably made a big fuss about the pictures, too.
I was like, oh yeah, I was like, sad when I didn't see it there. But yeah, no, it makes more sense here. So I'm glad I get to see it again. Or I hadn't seen what was there. And I love the new totes. So it's like one of the few things to also help break up the monotony and stuff of like, you get like new tote bags. You get new, like, you can't take out. So what are you using them for?
Oh, no. Hold the vending machine stuff?
You only get one snack a day.
2
2 snacks a day.
2 tokens per person per day.
Yeah, but is it 2 tokens per snack?
I was thinking it was 1 token per snack.
We'd have to go back and see. Can you hoard the tokens? If I don't buy a snack today, do I get more tomorrow?
Oh no, you probably couldn't hoard the tokens, but you could hoard the snacks.
It does keep stuff in his desk, but also you only have a very finite space.
Yeah. I was also noticing.
And they obviously go through your shit.
Yeah.
Or that would be my definite assumption.
I was also noticing in the severed portions, they're very much a stickler for the procedure and rules and everything, right?
Because essentially, don't quote the Bible at me. The Almighty Handbook.
Right, because he had put away the pictures, right, early, but they replaced those pictures very quickly, you know?
Yeah.
It's like almost immediate, and it's like, does it matter if those pictures aren't there for like a little bit? Like, to that one person,
Yeah.
kind of makes sense, but like he was going on and on about it.
Well, yes, because you've messed with the routine.
Right, and I get that.
And he also, I think, is maybe to some degrees, in some ways, also afraid of the repercussion might come against him. Because it is also a, like, I didn't do this, you went against protocol, we might get in trouble, I might get in trouble.
I felt it was more that he missed those pictures.
But yes, he did also miss
doesn't
them.
like change.
Yeah.
Which, I understand.
Yeah.
But like, the person admitting, or Mark admitting that he was like, I broke protocol, et cetera. Oh my gosh. The break room. So claustrophobic. So like, it's meant to punish you.
Yeah, it's meant to break you.
You were 100% right with your prediction there.
What else?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else are they going to do in that?
Yeah. Pretty much almost all of the, at least so far in like the severed places, it's very much a like, their form says their function.
Yeah.
As soon as you open the door, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's just a prison cell. They're gonna break him.
Yeah.
That's no. And also the like, oh, okay, you're gonna take it. All right, that's on you then. Like, yeah, and then takes you to a break room. Yeah, no, there's no subtlety there.
And the three, so when he called in sick, essentially, and the 3 of them were like, oh yeah, that's odd timing, right?
Yeah.
It was the guard, it was the handler,
Administration, yeah.
and administration.
Yeah.
So those 3 people are like, they're not severed.
No.
In that severed space.
Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense that you need some non-severed, but like, I don't get, because it doesn't seem like they have that many severed employees, at least at this stage. I don't know, maybe they get more because they're talking about expansion and stuff. So, like, yeah. And because seems like busy work.
Oh, the work that they're doing?
Yeah. And I think maybe it'll be explained of like how or why those things. I think it's because of probably something also in the implant.
Oh, so you think it's the implant affecting those numbers or their perception of the numbers? Yeah,
their perception of the numbers. Like, that's why it takes a little bit for it to like acclimate, because it takes time to kind of rewire your brain or start messing with stuff. So it has essentially like these sequences will start to feel or look wrong.
Right. So
there's a way to essentially poke at like the pattern recognition part of your brain. So
I think, well, funny you should say that. I suspect that the numbers and the data that they're getting is essentially like they're using people for the pattern recognition.
Yeah.
Quite obviously, there's a lot of things that benefit from having humans do the pattern recognition for it. And like, oh, you just have a feeling, so okay, I'll highlight these numbers and put them in the bin. That sort of a thing. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that might be some sort of like amount to gene sequencing, or it might amount to like protein folding. I'm thinking about these things in terms of like, it's a
biohacking.
Biohacking, yeah, because it's it started as a pharmaceutical company,
yeah,
right?
It started as a pharmacy.
So it's like this company is maybe big pharma.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah,
meow,
yeah,
meow.
yeah.
Oh. You're being adorable. Yes, you get attention too.
I know. I'm sorry. I slightly moved. I'm the worst person ever. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, I think that's my guess, is that they're doing something related to pharmaceuticals or medicine or something to make new drugs or to make new technologies and stuff.
Yeah.
With the data, and a lot of like a lot of technology today is used.
I have no spine.
By taking lots of information and just crunching the numbers. Although, why you would use humans for that would be really strange for me, because
yeah,
they're only able to get so much done per day or something like that.
Yeah.
It would have to be a problem that would be solved. They could only really be solved best by a human, and maybe the data that they're getting is fed through machines already, so the machines are already crunching it as best as it can, and the rest for humans, the like last 20% or 10% of the way there to get it refined. That's my guess.
Yeah.
But I do wonder how much of it is like a human experiment.
Yeah.
And they're just experimenting on the Severance thing.
Yeah.
And using those numbers, because, you know, he took a picture of her, right? Why would you take a picture of her? Why would you document that?
Yeah.
As she's having a procedure.
Yeah.
That's weird. It also seems like this procedure is relatively new, because the person who was protesting is saying that it's, you know, the company's wanting to make it enforced, you know, by law.
Yeah.
So it might be a relatively new thing, and they're wanting to expand, like you were saying. So what we might be seeing is like kind of the early days-ish.
Yeah.
Of this. Like they've definitely gone through human trials already, and
yeah,
this is like their big experiment.
Yeah. But yeah, like also they're like, oh, you ran into him, like one of the people doesn't like the art person, the O and D. And I was like, you didn't tell him where we are, did you? Like,
that's weird.
That's weird. Why can't another department know where you are?
Some people like the isolation.
Yeah. But no, he was saying it as in like, you know, like they're not supposed to know.
Oh, really? So other people aren't supposed to know where the departments are located.
Yeah.
That might be part of why Pete or Petey is trying to map out the building, the floor.
Yeah.
And he was saying that, like, yeah, different departments don't really know
that the others exist.
Or
where they are, or we don't really, like, we don't sit together.
They don't interact with each other.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely leans a bit more horror in this one. We'll see if the trend continues.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think this is, like, essentially just, you know, mental horror?
Oh, yeah. How would you categorize this?
Yeah. Thriller? I mean, which thrillers are a type of horror. Horror is an umbrella. Yeah. Thriller generally is underneath that umbrella very much. Or, like, it doesn't have to have jump scares to be horror.
Right. Thankfully, there's not in this so far.
We'll see.
We'll see. You know, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Pet the cat for luck.
All the luck. Yeah. So, I mean...
Lucky kitty.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if it keeps going in this direction. I am kind of curious about the world building. I'm not a fan of the more, like, horror-y side of stuff. This also does feel like a bit of existential dread.
It does.
It hits a lot of, like, existentialism stuff, so we'll see if it starts going more into that realm. Slightly less into the horror would be great. So keep it about this level will be alright, I think, so we'll see. I do love me some existentialism. Oh.
Well, we'll find out in the next episode what happens next. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to us so you don't miss us watching the next episode. You can join us. You can also join us on Patreon, where we have a lot of benefits and perks, such as content for ad-free, as well as access to Discord, a few other things too, like access to some of the rough cuts, some of the lightly edited material. What else do we have?
Oh, yeah. We're also, you can interact with us a little bit more there. There's polls, so you can have a bit more say on like how things are going or suggestions. But yeah, feel free to come join us over there.
Oh, you can also keep up with us, Blue Sky.
Yeah, so you can also follow on Blue Sky that we also post there.
Hopefully we'll see you in the next one.